Hello, everyone. Susan Gerbic from Psychics Explained. Let's check in with Matt Fraser. I'm still getting emails from him. Obviously, he's not looking at anything because it is Susan Gerbic at yahoo.com. He's it's on his mailing list, but maybe he has so many millions of people on his mailing list he doesn't know who's on there or care. It's odd because he's blocked me on all social media. Everything he does is social media. I'm completely blocked. Yet he allows Susan Gerbic to be on his email list. I find that interesting. But I think he blocked me on social media, all the social media channels, when the article Operation Peach Pit came out in the New York Times. So I think that's when he blocked me on everything. And then I might have signed up for his newsletters and things after that, but I can't quite remember because that's like 2017. I'm lucky I can remember what day of the week it is. Oh, happy July the 4th to anybody out there who celebrates. So let's look at it, what he's been sending out the last few days and talk about that real quick. And I also want to share with you an interview I just did. And I think it's quite good. And I hope you guys will enjoy it and find it interesting. I'll start with that. I will be, I hope that you guys like this kind of video, just impromptu, no script. Please leave me your comments. I adore getting comments from you guys, emails, Facebook messages, all the socials. I really enjoy that. I enjoy hearing from you guys, and I learn from you as you leave comments. I try to respond to every comment. I do read every comment, and I hope that we are learning from each other, because that's what it feels like here. So let's start with Squaring the Strange, because I just did this podcast. I think it's an excellent interview. I've done lots of interviews, and as I'm going on this journey and learning more, I think I'm adapting a little bit more as I go, and understanding what is going on in this world of mediumship, and actually in the world of paranormal, all the paranormal, because there's so much overlap in that. In this interview, it just aired today. I think today's the 4th, or the 3rd. And I talk about what's going on in the UFO community and how have become one of their main villains, and some of the the comments, some of the attacks I received from the UFO community, which is fascinating in itself. If you follow me on Facebook, every few weeks or so, I might put up a collection of what the UFO Twitter has been saying about me. From what I understand, UFO Reddit is also very upset at me. I mean, I have supporters, obviously, who are science minded and who are kind and open to inquiry and discussing the world of UFOlogy. I'm not interested in UFOs. I'm interested in the community and the phenomena of the community, and why people believe, and how they make the excuses that they make, how they're blinded for what it is that's so clear to most everyone else. The information is out there on what is probably going on, yet they refuse to look at it. Not everybody. And these are not silly, stupid people or anything like that. Yes, some from their comments are experiencing mental issues. It's quite clear. And but much like the flat earth community, this world, almost all male, which is like fascinating, I think, in itself, are very they seem to be very math and science focused, but something kind of goes wrong somewhere, and I don't know what it is. If it's a personality thing, if it's an experience that they have had when they were younger and they refuse to see any other alternative explanation for it. Some people may be more conspiracy minded than others. I don't know, but I think it's fascinating. So let me share you. Oh, let me share with you the episode. They have a new one out, they have a new logo, and I guess the website hasn't changed the logo yet. I'll play the opening sounds for you so you can hear what the sounds like. So this is a couple friends of mine. This is Ben Radford here on the right. Pasquale has just left the show. And now it is Ben Radford and Celestia Ward, who's been on for years. And they're both good friends of mine. So let's be clear about that. They usually start out the show with a sway so. What are you skeptical of this week? And then they go right into the interview with me. And here's the opening sounds.
Welcome to Squaring the Strange, the podcast that examines all manner of the mysterious and the mundane through a critical lens. So, let's square the strange.
I'll put a link in the description. It's a great soundtrack. I have one of the videos that I have launched. One of the videos I just added to Psychics Explained a couple days ago was Radford Reviews Look Into My Eyes, which is a psychic documentary that appears, I believe, on Netflix. So I am talking about him. Ben Radford is a longtime paranormal investigator. He has a large world of things that he's fascinated by in the world of the paranormal. And he is one of the most empathetic people I know. I have heard him really understanding what is probably going on in a lot of situations that you and I would probably think are silly. But the people who believe in these things may have an agenda that you aren't even considering. One I talk about often is in I believe it's an African country or the Middle East. A bunch of women in a factory have said there's ghosts in the toilets that they have, and they're too afraid to go to work, and they're too afraid to go to the toilets because of the ghosts. Now, you and I would go, how silly that is. But what really is going on, that Ben would say, is that the working conditions for these women is so atrocious. The way the women are treated, the bathrooms are outdoor stalls that are disgusting, and men are treated completely different than the women. So these women appear to be using this idea of a ghost in the toilets to bring attention to the toilets and the conditions they have to have, they suffer through in this factory. And the publicity will make the factory clean up this mess and make their toilet facilities more in line with what the men have. And so, when you see what's going on in the whole story, it's like, oh, well, duh. What clever women to do something like that. They're using the paranormal, but it's fascinating. Anyway, so empathy is something that I've really been thinking about a lot in the last year in the world of the psychic mediums. I don't have any empathy for Matt Fraser, Tyler Henry, Teresa Cabuto, Thomas John. None, not at all. But I have a lot of empathy for the women, mostly women, who are falling prey to this. And a lot of them fall prey to it because they really had never really thought about it before, because all the people around them believe this, because they're raised in a world that has always, of course, believed in life after death and communication with people. And people are trying to live their lives and trying to, put food on the table for their family, take care of ailing children and elderly people, take care of themselves, trying to keep a roof over their heads. And they're not spending the time looking at Susan Gerbich's Psychic Explained channel to get to the details of what's going on in mediumship. So let's cut these people some slack here. A lot of these mediums that are these non-TV mediums, not all of them, but some of them have fallen into this world of mediumship because it's a way to make extra income, cash income. It's a way of socializing with other women to feel like you're helping. I have seen many women in this world, not even the ones who do professional readings, but like fall into the classes that go to these things, and they have wanted to go into nursing and they wanted to go into the health field, but they lacked funds, or they had young children, or they had reasons they couldn't get into healthcare, or maybe they just didn't have the grades to be able to get into healthcare. So this is a way of doing that. So again, cut them some slack. Let's find out what's going on, and maybe we'd have a better way of empathizing with them and understanding what's going on, so that we can get to a point where we can help end this world of people preying, Prey, on other people's grief, because that's ultimately what ends up happening, where they're giving them outsized advice from a position of authority, and giving them financial advice, health advice, and so on. I'm all fine with your best friend giving you advice, or your aunt who's really knowledgeable about those kinds of things. That's fine. That's not coming from a position of somebody who's communicating with the dead. All right. So anyway, I do a chat. It's a little over an hour. I guess it's about an hour with Ben and Celestia, and I think it's well edited, and I think I explain myself well, and they ask great questions, especially about AI and mediumship, which is a question I haven't had before. So check that out. Anyway, I'll put the link to this under here. Let's go to Matt. So Matt Fraser, America's #1 psychic, he says. He calls himself America's #1 psychic. Right, Matt boy. All right, he's sending me these emails probably once every 2 days. And they're all about, hey, come to one of my readings, join one of my workshops, send me money, send me money, send me money. And never any releases of how he's found reunited family members, or solved cases, or, living family members, somebody who's been abducted, and a child is been abducted somewhere, and he's rescued them because he knows where they are, or a cold case, they found a body and they don't know who it relates to, or some kind of crime. None of that. None of that ever is done, right? So in this email, let me show you this most recent email. This is from June 30th, so it's a few days old. I've been saving it for you. And, notice how much religiosity is on this. Lots and lots of religion there for you. So you've got this guardian angel, these perfect AI created things. Okay, so yes, psychics do use AI, or maybe his team uses AI. I guess he's missing a photo of himself. He didn't want to go out and do a photo session with him wearing all white and so on. So he's using AI. When I was growing up, I believed in angels and all that kind of stuff, and demons terrified me. So the imagery was really powerful in the Bibles that my mom had, and all the books that she had. That was pretty powerful. So he says that he's talking about spirit guides and guardian angels. You guys can stop this, pause this if you want to read this in full. But the spirit guide chooses you. And that's fascinating to me, to think about, that there are somebody who's taking care of you and watching over you and advising you and that kind of thing. Because there's a lot of bad, awful, horrible things that happen to people in life. And what happened? Was the guardian angel like looking the other way, or were they taking a nap? Or, shouldn't a guardian angel be helping you at all times? if you then you make these excuses and say, oh, well, we have free will, and sometimes we don't take the advice of our guardian angel. In other words, blame the victim, right? And I just don't get it, because there's always an excuse. There's always an out by the person who says you have guardian angels. But I guess it's supposed to make us feel better. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't need imaginary friends. I've got a lot of really wonderful friends. One just called me a few moments ago, and I had to hang up on her, poor thing. All right. So spirit guides. Now, of course, Matt knows all this information. It's a spiritual life coach. So I guess you don't need a life coach, right? And they nudge you in the right direction. So you have to watch out for their signs, right? They're sending you signs, flowers, butterflies, coins, music, so on. And if you're not paying good attention, you're not watching out for those signs. So therefore, it's your fault again if something bad happens to you. This keeps people hyper aware and hyper alert. You're going to be Nancy Reagan pretty soon, and getting a horoscope for your husband who's president of the United States pretty soon. Opening doors, closing when they're not, arranging powerful meetings, life-changing moments, push you to grow through challenges, stay with you from birth to your last breath, and they don't give up on you even when you do. Here's a true story, a man who's got alcoholism. Okay, you can see all these things. So your spirit guide is ready right near you, because you feel inspired, you're led towards healing, and on and on and on. So if you're ready to meet your spirit guide, for Matt to just name some name comes out of his head and says that's your spirit guide, and it's not going to be tied to you in any way like some family member. It's some Elizabeth or Bernadette or Francesca or something. It's just going to be some name, just like what was her name? Sylvia Brown used to do, just names out of the top of her head. Like guardian angels are going to name themselves something like that, right? Hosting a one night only online event where I'll be connecting with spirits for 2 hours. It's all in caps. They're going to have, a few hundred people there, so you're not going to be getting a reading. I'll be sharing how spirit guides work, how they choose you, and delivering live readings where I reveal who your guide is and how they've been helping you behind the scenes. Yeah, right. Choose to register. How much is it? So, America's Top Medium, $47. All right, $47, one night only, 2 hours. So there's $42 actually go to Matt and his team, and $5 our convenience fee. Yeah, some convenience. So if it's $42 and you've got 300 people there, let's get my handy dandy calculator here. 42 times 300. And some of you have already done the math. $12,600 for 2 hours. $6,000, $6,300 an hour. Wow. So he's just going to label a bunch of names, and maybe he has some stooges in the audience. I don't know. How would we know? It's just the videos we see later are all edited. It's tomorrow. Oh no, it's already passed. Is it passed? Should I go? Oh, it's July 17th. So it's coming up for any of you guys out there who want to go. Somebody go and let me know. All right. I'll reimburse you the $47 if I don't get to it. I think I'm going to be out on a cruise. I'm going to the Bermuda Triangle with the Skeptoid group. So I think I might be not around for that. So let's look and see what else he has. This Sunday, so this is tomorrow. Okay, I've got something important to ask you. You see how he puts my name on there every time? That's so sweet of him. It's nice to know he thinks of me. I've got something important to ask you. Have you ever had a reading with me before? If not, this Sunday might be your chance. So I'll be giving live readings from you. So I've read for over 2,000 people online. Okay, that's 2,000 people online that he's given readings to. That's a lot of readings. So 2,000 people. All right, so 2,000 people times this is $22, I believe, a person. So that's $44,000 for those readings. Now, what I want you to remember is that when he does a show, when he's gallery readings, he might read 5 people. And let's say there's 300 people there. So if there's 300 people there and divided by, okay, let's figure it this way. So if you've done 2,000 readings, oops, too many numbers here. 2,000 readings divided by 5, because that's about how many people. So it's about 400 gallery sessions he's doing, right? No, 400 people. Okay, let me think of this. Math is not my favorite thing. You got 2,000 people divided by 5. So that's 400 gallery readings, right? If I'm wrong, correct me in the thing, I'll be fine with that. So if you've done 400 gallery readings and you have approximately 300 people who show up to those, probably more, but let's see, 400 times 300 people equals, that's 120,000 people he has had eyeballs in front of who have paid him money. So 120,000 people have paid him approximately $22 a piece. That's $2,640,000. I have learned as a medium, the messages come when you least expect them, but most need them. So this is, I try to keep the online readings affordable because I know how important it is for you to have your chance to connect. So what he's saying is just show up and listen, because you're going to get a message out of this somehow, even though your dead family members that love you aren't coming through. Wow, $2.6 million. How much of that is cash? I don't know. I would assume he has to report that, but I don't know that. I wonder how he's getting the money. Let's see. I'm going to click on this. I won't share, but I'm going to look and see if it gives me an idea of how you book these. I mean, I booked with a Visa. I booked with a Visa card when the last time I've seen him, and I think every time I've seen him. So if he's getting a Visa card, then he's probably, there's more of a way of what's the word for it? It's tracked to him. No, it's not showing. I'd have to put in my name and address and all that stuff in there. I don't know if I like doing it right now. But if anybody wants to click through this, put in a fake information. Oh, let me see. Well, let me do it until I put in some kind of email. Oh, all right. Let's just see what it gives me for payment. Okay, credit cards. So log in to redeem gift cards. Ooh, that's nice. Credit cards. So yeah, he's not using Cash App. So maybe Matt has to report his income. This isn't true of most mediums, though, that are in the small world of gallery readings and TikTok and Instagram. So I'm not saying he's paying all his money. He might be by now. I don't know. I'm just saying that to get to that level, you can get by without having to it's all PayPal, Cash Apps, Venmo, that kind of thing. And that's a lot easier. One that I can't talk about right now because I'm hoping to work on a sting with this person. I went and I clicked through all the way through. They only take PayPal, and it says right on there to make sure you hit friends and family so that there's no fees taken out of it. Uh-huh. Yeah, this is bad. Speaking to the dead, right? So, so as you can see, Matt's still in business. I don't know how long this is going to take. I feel like he's going to outlive me. I mean, he's probably 25 years younger than I am. And will he make it? Will he? I can't see him ever doing another TV show again. You know, I might be wrong. I'm certainly not psychic. But I just can't see. Well, I don't know. And besides, he says 2,000 readings he's done does not mean that number is true, right? So, as I said, I am working on Operation Banana Cream Pie. We have done one big event that had a very surprising outcome. I can't talk about it, obviously, because it hasn't been released yet. And we're continuing with other events, other stings with a variety of other mediums. And I can't talk about where I'm getting these mediums from. Gosh, I'd love to tell you guys. I'm constantly pulling up videos and cutting them and saying, I've got to share that on the channel. Oh, I've got to explain that to my channel. Oh, people are going to love this. Oh, you guys are going to eat this up. But I really can't, because I don't want these people to know that I'm on their trail, because it's all about surprise, because these people are not psychic, so they can't really know that I am there to call them out. It might work, it might not. It's a lot of, I want to say paperwork, but it's like back screen kind of stuff going on, and it's it's not as simple as you think. And some of these mediums have a lot of things in place to keep it so that it's difficult to not to infiltrate, but to look like you. They present themselves as being these top mediums, but if you show too much interest or too much bait, then they get very suspicious, because they're really not used to that. Their bravado is that they get, they have all this reading. I'm not talking about Matt Fraser or Tyler Henry or anything like that, but they're really not used to the attention that they can get from somebody that appears to be a fan. And I don't want to give away too much. Anyway, like my shirt, I just got it from the German Skeptics, GWUP sent me this shirt. I love it. It is so comfortable, and I feel very special because they weren't giving them away. I'm a fellow of the organization, and I went to Germany and went and spoke at the conference, and I said, I really like one of those shirts. And so they ordered one for me, and it came all the way from Germany here yesterday, and I am adoring it. So I'm going to be out on the road I'll be home for a few days, but I'm going to be out on the road for a couple weeks. I've got 3 major trips. One of them I will not be speaking at, and that's the one in Tennessee. I'm going to go to the 100th anniversary of the Scopes monkey trial, and that should be fascinating, in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I'm planning on having a really good time at that. Like I said, if you follow me on social media, you'll see everything I put up there. I don't block people, follow me, friend me, that kind of thing. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to your comments. This is a little bit of a grab bag today. I have to pack because I leave Sunday morning, 2 days from now. So I've got to start packing and so on. So you guys all take care. I hope if you celebrate July 4th or Canada Day, happy whatever that day is. I have great optimism that we're going to be okay, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. And I've got enough on my plate. Thank you very much. So we'll push through. Just be there for each other. Hold your family and friends close, and pets, and please take care. Thanks, everyone.